Dear soul who carries the weight of unspoken truths in your heart, you who have watched every word left unsaid echo in the space between two hearts, I feel the powerful presence of Archangel Gabriel, making himself known in this sacred moment, bringing the crystalline light of divine truth to illuminate this question that has been stirring the deepest fibers of your being. There's a question that whispers in your heart during the quietest hours of the night, a doubt that echoes between your need for protection and your desire for healing. Is your silence becoming medicine for his soul, or is it slowly becoming poison that corrodes the spiritual connection you both share? Archangel Gabriel, messenger of divine truth and guardian of sacred communication, comes through these words to touch your heart with answers your soul already knows, but needs to hear with crystal clarity. You've reached a point in your life where you understand that every choice carries weight. Every decision ripples through the fabric of your relationships. At this beautiful stage of your journey, you've learned that love isn't just about what you say, it's about what you choose not to say, and the energy behind that choice. I know you feel that weight in your chest, that sensation of walking an emotional tightrope, where every step requires a decision. Speak or remain silent, draw closer or maintain distance. Open your heart, or protect it behind walls of silence. Your heart knows this nameless pain, this anguish of someone who loves but doesn't know if her way of loving is healing or hurting, if her energy is becoming a balm or a sharp blade in the soul of the one she so deeply desires to see flourish. You who have held words in your throat like flower petals that can both perfume and cut, you know there's a thin line between love that teaches through absence and love that abandons through silence. This feeling of being lost among so many contradictory emotions, of wanting to do good but not being certain you're doing right, is a pain that echoes in the deepest part of your being. You've lived long enough to know that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is step back. But you've also learned that stepping back can sometimes feel like giving up. Archangel Gabriel recognizes every tear you've shed in prayer, every night you've spent questioning whether your distance is being a blessing or a curse in his spiritual journey. The angels whisper truths your heart already knows, but your mind hasn't been able to fully process yet. Archangel Gabriel reveals to me that there's a sacred difference between silence that heals and silence that wounds. And this difference isn't in the absence of words, but in the presence of love that permeates that absence. When you choose silence as a way to allow him to find his own answers, when your energy withdraws to give space for his growth, that silence carries the frequency of compassion and wisdom. But Archangel Gabriel also shows me that there's another type of silence, one that's born from fear, from unprocessed anger, from pain that hasn't yet found healing. This silence carries a dense energy, a vibration that resonates in his soul, not as space for growth, but as rejection, as abandonment, as punishment. Beyond the veil, your soul chose this experience to learn the difference between love that educates and love that hurts, between absence that liberates and absence that imprisons. Every tear you've shed watered invisible seeds of understanding. Every sleepless night was a call to awaken to a deeper truth about the nature of true love. At this stage of your life, you're being called to master the art of loving without controlling, of caring without overwhelming, of being present even in your absence. Look back and see how much you've grown in this journey of understanding the power of your energy, your words, your presence and absence. Feel the strength that pulses in your veins, even when you doubt whether you're doing the right thing, even when your heart wrestles between the desire to run into his arms and the need to maintain sacred distance. Recognize the light you've brought to others, even in the darkness of your own uncertainties, even in moments when you questioned whether your way of loving was being understood. There's an ancient wisdom pulsing in your heart, an intuition that has guided you, even when your mind questioned every choice. This inner voice that whispers about divine timing, about the importance of allowing each soul to find its own path, about the difference between loving and controlling. This voice is Archangel Gabriel speaking through your expanded consciousness. You who have felt this energy of protection and care, notice how it has prepared you to understand that true love sometimes requires the courage to let go, but never the coldness of giving up. As a woman who has lived through seasons of love, loss, and renewal, you understand that some of the most profound healing happens in the spaces between words, in the sacred silence that allows souls to breathe and find their own rhythm. I am Gabriel, the Archangel of Sacred Communication, and I come through this message to touch your heart with truths that will illuminate the path ahead. Dear daughter of light, your silence has been a constant prayer, a form of communication that transcends words and touches his soul directly in ways you still cannot fully comprehend. When you choose silence from love, when your energy withdraws to give space for his spiritual growth, that absence carries a frequency of healing that resonates in the most subtle planes of existence. He feels this energy even when he cannot name it, perceives this loving presence even in physical distance, understands at deep levels that you haven't abandoned him, but rather created sacred space for him to find his own answers. But I also need to reveal to you that there's another side to this spiritual coin. When silence is born from unprocessed pain, when absence is a form of punishment disguised as love, when the energy you emit is charged with hurt and expectation, then that silence becomes a blade that cuts the spiritual connection between you. He perceives this energetic difference even when he cannot explain it, feels in his heart when your distance is an invitation to growth or when it's a form of rejection. You are at a stage in your life where you have the wisdom to choose consciously, where your spiritual maturity allows you to love with intention rather than react from wound. This is your gift, dear soul, the ability to transform even your silence into a sacred offering. If this message is touching your heart, if you feel that Archangel Gabriel is truly speaking to you through this screen, write in the comments, I trust in the wisdom of true love. Allow your soul to connect with the angelic energy being channeled through these words. Before we continue with the next revelation from the angels, pause for a moment and feel the energy of this message. Place your hand on your heart and notice if there's tension or lightness when you think about your silence in relation to him. If you feel that the angels are really speaking to you through this screen, confirm your presence in the comments. They need to feel your energy to continue channeling the deeper truths. Archangel Gabriel shows me that your pain has divine purpose, that each moment of uncertainty has been an opportunity to refine your understanding of unconditional love. This constant and invisible spiritual assistance has guided you even when you felt lost, even when you questioned whether you were doing the right thing. The angels whisper that the challenges you've faced are part of the greater plan, a way to forge in your heart the wisdom necessary to love more purely, more consciously, more transformatively. Every night you spent in prayer, every tear offered to heaven, every moment of conscious silence has been a contribution to both of your spiritual growth. Archangel Gabriel reveals that there's a sacred dance happening between your souls, a divine choreography where every step, including moments of distance, has its purpose in the greater journey of spiritual evolution. At this beautiful stage of your life, you're being called to embody the highest form of feminine wisdom, the ability to love so deeply that you can create space for another's growth without taking it personally, the strength to hold love without grasping it. The angels ask me to pause here. They want you to know that there's a deeper layer to this message, a truth that might be intense but needs to be revealed. If you feel you're ready to receive the complete truth about the energetic impact of your silence, no matter how profound it may be, write in the comments, I am brave enough to receive all truth. Archangel Gabriel now reveals to me the most subtle aspects of this situation. He shows me that there's an energetic connection between you that transcends verbal communication, a link that remains active even in moments of greatest physical distance. When you choose conscious silence, when your energy withdraws with love and not with hurt, this connection becomes a channel of healing that allows him to process his own wounds without external interference. But there's a deeper truth that needs to be revealed. He feels every nuance of your energy, every shift in your emotional vibration. When you're at peace with your choice of silence, when you trust the divine process, he perceives this serenity and it calms him. When you're in conflict, when silence is an internal struggle between the desire to speak and the fear of consequences, he feels this energetic turbulence and it destabilizes him. As a mature woman, you have the power to choose the quality of energy you send out into the world. Your silence can be a sanctuary or a storm. The choice is yours. Archangel Gabriel allows me to glimpse the future that unfolds ahead, and I can feel an energy of renewal and flourishing that brings chills of hope. I see moments of deeper, more authentic communication, where each word will be charged with truth and love. I smell the sweet aroma of emotional healing that's coming, the sensation of lightness that will fill your heart when you both fully understand the divine purpose of this phase of silence. There's an abundance of mutual understanding approaching, a fullness of connection that will be even deeper for having passed through this period of spiritual refinement. The awakening that's coming will bring with it a transformation that will illuminate not only the relationship between you, but also how you both relate to the world. I can feel the energy of true union, one that's born not from dependence, but from the conscious choice to walk together toward the light. This is the gift of your maturity, the ability to love with patience, to trust the process, and to know that the deepest connections often require the greatest faith. If this message brought peace to your heart, if you felt Archangel Gabriel's loving presence through these words, leave your gratitude in the comments. Write, "Thank you, Archangel Gabriel," and allow your energy to join the current of light being formed through this message. To continue receiving angelic guidance that will illuminate your spiritual journey, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. The angels have much more to reveal about your journey of love and spiritual growth. If you know someone who's going through a similar situation, who questions whether their way of loving is healing or hurting, share this message. Sometimes a soul needs to hear through another soul the truth their heart already knows. Until the next video, dear courageous soul, may Archangel Gabriel continue to guide you with his crystalline light of truth. May your silence always be a prayer of love, and may your energy always be a healing balm for all who cross your path. You are loved, you are guided, and you are exactly where you need to be on your spiritual journey. May Archangel Gabriel's peace envelop your heart and illuminate every choice you make from this moment forward.